Self-care is so important. So in this video, I'm bringing to you a box that I put together to take care of myself. These are things that make me happy, make me feel good, or tend to my needs. So if you want to see what's inside my self-care box, keep watching. Welcome to This and That with Denise Jordan. I teach women how to make wise home health and beauty decisions so there's less chaos in their homes, they lead healthier lives, and they feel beautiful from the inside out. And today, I am tackling the chaos that can so often come along with stress. And I'm doing that by putting together a box of goodies that really minister to me. But before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, and you want to learn more about running a household, cooking and cleaning and laundry and health and beauty and that kind of thing, subscribe. Or if you want to learn more about products that you can use in your home, subscribe, because I do videos about those topics all the time. But definitely check out the show notes in the description box below, because that's where I'll link some of my favorite housekeeping and gardening solutions. Okay, let's take a look at my box. Now this challenge is hosted by Synolve at Synolve's Beautiful Gems, and she just felt that self-care was so important, and she does a segment on her channel every Friday called Self-Care Friday. And so one of the challenges that she put forward was for us to put together a box that ministers to us, that provides those things that we need when we need just a little pick-me-up. And it was such a great idea. And then she also posted a couple of videos that gave some ideas as to some of the kinds of things that can go in the box, and I took it and ran with it. So let me just show you what I got. First of all, this box just says Paris is always good. And if you remember from one of my videos, one of the things that I said was that I always wanted to take a trip to Paris and walk down the streets of, Montrachet and drink ouzo in one of the little open air cafes. Well, this is probably as close as I'm going to get to it. So I got this box, and let's take a look at what's inside. And it is chock full of items in no particular order. But the first thing that I do want to pull out is this card, and on the card it just says counseling session Jean at 11 a.m. And one of the things that I have done that has been so important to taking care of me is to engage in counseling. I went to counseling probably for about 2.5 years, and it was so therapeutic. It was so beneficial, and frankly, it saved my life. So counseling is so important. If you get the right counselor, it's life-changing. And mental health is one of those things we don't talk often enough about. We talk to our girlfriends about going to the doctor for this or that, or so-and-so's got breast cancer, or so-and-so's baby needs this or that, but we don't talk about ministering to the mind. So I wanted to put that out there, that the number one thing I do is go to a counselor. So there's that. Now the other thing that I have in here is a sunflower. And if you follow my channel at all, you know that I love flowers, and sunflowers are my favorite. Sunflowers actually represent joy, and I just love to look at their open, happy faces. So flowers are important to me, and when I do my gardening, it's mostly flower gardening, and I'll pat the flowers and I'll talk to them and dig in the dirt and all of that, and it's just so relaxing and so therapeutic. So I do that for me. And then another thing that I really enjoy is I love pretty plates. Now you'll probably remember these dishes from my Midsummer's Night Dream tablescape, and I'll link that below so that you can see them. But I just love pretty plates. When I set my table and I've got pretty plates on it, I just feel like it makes the food so much more appealing, and it just makes me just feel so nice and so happy, and I feel like it's good for my family as well as for me. And I used to buy a new set of dishes every 3 or 4 years. I would come up with an excuse as to why I would need a new set. Or I said, well, you know what, Jill needs this set. So I'd give her my old set and I'd buy a new set. But I kind of stopped that. So every now and then I'll pick up some pretty dishes, but not as often as I used to. But sometimes I'll get out the ones I've got, just kind of stroke them, and just remember how much I enjoy them. And then here's just a little birdie, and it's just to remind me too as to how much I love birds. In my flower garden, I really call it my bird garden because I've got 3 bird feeders out there. And I plant flowers that will attract the birds and the bees and butterflies and things like that. So I've got that little bird. And the other thing that I really enjoy is pretty paper and pretty note cards. And my granddaughter gave me this little box of note cards one year for Christmas. And when you open it up, it's just got these little florals inside. And on the cover, you've got a little hummingbird that's going to what looks like some lilies. And it's just nice. So when I write notes or letters to people, I love to have pretty cards and pretty paper. And this is on top just because that's where it landed. But this is an apron that my daughter got for me for my birthday. And one of the things I enjoy doing is cooking, and I have discovered that I also like pretty aprons. And when I put this one on, it just reminds me of her and that she thought enough of me to get it. And I've always really felt that it's important for a mother and daughter to have a good relationship. And this apron just kind of reminds me that we do. So that's why I put it in the box. Now it's not going to stay in the box, but I just wanted to put it in there to show you. Now this little hair clip, this little barrette, it's in the box because one of the things that I do for myself is get my hair done every week. I have a standing appointment at the beauty shop every Friday at 11 o'clock. And I've gotten my hair done weekly for years. And even when money was a little tight, the one thing that I consistently did for myself was to get my hair done. It is so relaxing to be able to sit there at the beauty salon under the dryer and let somebody else take care of me, because so often I'm the one doing the caretaking. So that one little oasis in the middle of the week is truly the one time that I'm there and that I'm alone. The phone doesn't ring. Well, now that we have cell phones, occasionally it will, but typically the phone doesn't ring and it's quiet. And if the phone in there does ring, it's not for me. And then I've got this picture in here of Diana Ross from the cover of her album, The Boss. And I love that album. And in particular, there are 2 songs on it that I really like. One of them is I'm Coming Out. That was the theme song at my retirement party. And the other one is This Is My House. And they just both really speak to me. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little low, I'll pull them up on YouTube and just play them. I'll be putting my makeup on. And while I'm putting my makeup on or whatever I'm doing, I might be dancing around in there. And sometimes, you know, like my husband knows that I really like those songs and that I usually play them when I need a little pick-me-up. So sometimes he'll peek around at the door and say, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm good." And when I'm not good, I get that way after listening to these songs. So there's that. And then I have this picture of my husband and myself in here from our trip to Mexico. We went to Los Cabos, San Lucas in Mexico last year for my nephew's wedding. And it was the most magical time. We had a beautiful time. And we also celebrated our anniversary while we were there. It was like our big vacation for the year. And it was just such a nice time. We just had so much fun. We spent so much time together, plus time with family members that were also along the trip, time out on the beach, and we just had a good time. And one of the things we did was we did a photo shoot, and they did it like we were newlyweds, and it was just fun. And this is one of the pictures that he had printed from the trip. So, and I always like to do that. And so since I've got that picture out, I'll also show this card. This is a card that I put in my planner for the last couple of years. And it's one that he gave me. And it's just, he gave it to me probably for my anniversary. I believe it was our anniversary. No, it was Mother's Day. And it just says, having you by my side means the world to me. And I just like this couple that they're kind of walking off, you know, into the sunset. They're hand in, or rather arm in arm. And it just reminds me of us and that this is what we're working towards, that we're working for. And I've been married 46 years. And they haven't always been easy years and easy times, but we've managed to work things out and we're dealing very well together right now. And these things like this just reminds me of what I'm working for and towards. And so they make me happy. And so since I'm talking about planners, I'll pull my planner out. Now, one of the things that I also enjoy is my planner. I love decorating my planner. So I put just some stickers and note cards and things like that that I might use when I'm decorating my planner. And I'll just show you a quick, here's my August mission board and plan. And you can see how I like to decorate it here. There's a picture of my hubby and myself, and then another little card of a couple, and you can kind of see them from the back. And then I also like to decorate the layouts. So these are some things that I do for myself. I enjoy scrapbooking. It is very relaxing to just kind of sit at the table and just take my time and cut out paper or whatever. And so that's one of the things that I do for me. And my husband says he enjoys seeing me in the kitchen working because he knows that I'm kind of at peace when I'm doing that. And then to pamper myself, one of the things that I'll do is do a facial. Sometimes I'll actually go to a salon and pay that $25 or $35 or whatever it is dollars to get a facial. Perhaps someone else give one to me. But sometimes I'll just do one at home for myself. More often than not, I'm doing it at home for myself. And this is just a pomegranate crush face mask that came in one of my glossy boxes. And so there's that. I also enjoy having little notebooks. Like I said earlier, I like pretty paper, and I love pretty little notebooks. And this particular one came to me in friend mail, one of my first boxes of friend mail, and it came from Liz at Home Decorating with Liz. And I was like, how did she know that I love little notebooks? I keep one in my purse all the time so I can jot down notes or whatever. And then I also love books. My house is filled with books. My husband says sometimes too many because I've got books that I need to figure out what to do with. And I love cookbooks and I enjoy cooking. So I put this box of, or rather I put this book in. It's Food, Health, and Happiness, and it's Oprah's book, one of the ones that I got at Weight Watchers. But I enjoy looking at the pictures in cookbooks, but I also enjoy the health that you can get from eating healthy foods. So that's why this is in there. And since I'm talking about healthy foods, I'll also show this. This is a box of bottle of medication. It's the medication that I take to control my atrial fib. And for those of you that follow me know that I had an atrial fib event about 5 years ago, and it was quite serious. And it is managed now, but it is managed with medication. So one of the things that I do to take care of me is make sure I get my medication in every day. I will admit there are times sometimes when I forget, and it's usually that evening dose that I forget than the morning dose because I have to take this particular one twice a day. But that's what I do to take care of me. The other thing is my Pilates and yoga exercise. I do this DVD 3 to 4 times a week when I'm actively exercising, and it just kind of really ministers to me. It's like one of those things I do for myself. When I get up in the morning, I put on my workout clothes and I hit the mat, because if I don't get it done first thing in the morning, it doesn't happen. So I do that for myself. And then, as I said earlier, I like books, and this particular book is 52 Lists for Happiness, And so one of the things that we can do, and that I sometimes do, is I'll look in this book and just make a list that day of what are the things that make me happy. I struggled with depression. I mean, serious, almost crippling depression for a while. And the counseling was really beneficial. And then sometimes just making lists of things that I have to be grateful for, like a gratitude list or something like that, has proved to be very therapeutic. And then this bottle of lotion, as you can see, is almost empty, but it's one of the things that I do to take care of me. It's the Hemp's Age-Defying Herbal Body Moisturizer. And I really don't think that it has any kind of fragrance to it, but apparently it does, because my sister always says I smell good when I wear it. And one time, this is kind of a funny thing, but I got in bed and I snuggled up to my husband, and he kind of roused up and said, "You smell different." Well, this particular day, I was out of this, and so I had put on his lotion, which is, I buy for him the Vaseline Intensive Care Cocoa Butter. So I guess I was smelling a little bit like what he normally smells like, and he noticed it. And my husband can't smell a thing. It's like if the house was on fire, smoke could be pouring out the kitchen, he'd be sitting in there watching TV and wouldn't smell a thing. The fire department would have to knock down the door, and they'd walk in with their axe, and he'd be like, "Oh, didn't smell anything." But he noticed this, so I definitely will be refilling that. And then the other thing that I do for myself is I will take baths. I will take a long hot bath and fill it with either some kind of a bath soap. I've got this one, which I picked up at Burlington Coat Factory, and it is a bath soap with lavender buds. And I had another one that I'm out of now that had lavender buds and chamomile buds and things like that in it. But you put in maybe a couple tablespoons full in the water, let it kind of dissolve, and then you just lay there and just soak, and then the aroma drifts up, and it's just so relaxing. So I definitely like to take these baths, long hot baths. And then, depending upon the mood I'm in, I've got these body scrubs that I might use as well. And this is the Teodora Rainforest at Dawn, and I just like the advertising that goes on the box. It says, picture yourself in a waterfall in the rainforest, and you're sitting there, you know, by the riverbank, and you're doing your, you know, your daily ablutions. And I'll do that when I'm using this. And so this is the body scrub, and this is the body cream, and it just kind of takes me away and makes me think about I'm in the Amazon and that kind of thing. So these are things that I also do for myself to just kind of help to relieve stress. And then other stress relievers are tea. Sometimes when I'm really stressed, I'll drink some chamomile tea. And one of the things that I would always do when I would go see my therapist, I would go into their little kitchenette and I would make a cup of chamomile tea and then wait to be called back. And when I'm home, when I'm stressed and I really need to relax, I'll drink a cup of chamomile tea. Or if I'm having trouble sleeping, then I'll drink a cup of this nighttime relaxation tea. So, and you guys all know I love coffee. I love my Starbucks. I got my Keurig, and I drink coffee every morning, sometimes 2 cups. But when I want to relax, tea. And then other things I do for self-care to protect my face is I will use this Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Liquid, and I put this on top of my moisturizer but under my foundation. And it's something that I do when I'm going to spend some time out in the sun because it's just so important. So sunblock. Now this is also a bath product. I tend to like body washes. I like pretty much right now I'm using the Jason chamomile body wash. Again, it helps with that relaxation, but get the body wash on, you're in and you're out, quick shower, quick bath, whatever. But when I really want to slow it down or feel totally decadent, then I'll use bar soap. And I've got this bar soap from the Grove Collaborative. This particular one is a peppermint bar soap, and I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this, but it just makes me slow down and enjoy the experience. So whereas a lot of people might use bar soap every day, I don't. I use body wash, but when I'm slowing it down and pampering myself, I've got some great bar soap that I use. And then for the face, again, sometimes when I'm doing an at-home spa day, I will use a facial mask that might come out in a jar. And I've got 3 of these Thomas Roth face masks. This particular one is a pumpkin, but I've got a rose hip, and I've got, well, I've got 3 of them. I don't know what the other 2 are. At home spa day, sometimes I'll do my own pedicure. And one of the things that I've been doing since I've been trying to economize is doing my nails at home myself. And I don't do my fingers. I don't like nail polish on my fingers, but I do like to have pretty feet. And so sometimes I'll give myself a pedicure, or I might spend the day at the nail salon and then get a pedicure there. Chocolate makes me happy, in particular the Snickers peanut butter. So I have this in there for that. And then I have this little Longenberger basket in here, and this is the one that you can put salt and pepper shaker and that kind of thing in. But the reason why it's in here is because I have the picnic basket and the take-along basket that complement this particular one. And I love picnics, and when I want to plan some time for just the hubby and I, for us to kind of reconnect, I'll plan a picnic, and maybe we'll go out on the water on this boat, and then once we dock the boat, then I'll lay out a picnic up on the beach or at a table close by, and we'll have a picnic and just enjoy the day, just the 2 of us. And since I'm talking about the 2 of us, let me show you this too. Now this isn't in the box because I didn't want to injure it, but we keep this on the table in our family room. But my husband bought me this a few years ago, and he bought it for me during a time where we were having just a little bit of difficulty. And he bought it because he wanted to remind me that this is what we're working for. This is what we're working to, the 2 of us together. And these 2 little frogs are sitting on a bench. And I enjoy sitting out on the porch with him. And as I look into the future, as we get older, my vision is that the 2 of us will be sitting on the porch drinking lemonade. Now, he says he'll be drinking a beer. But that being said, the idea is the 2 of us sitting there together. And sitting out on the porch just really helps me to relax. It just helps me to be still, to take that time to smell the roses. And I'll just sit there and listen to the birds chirping, or I'll listen to my wind chime as it gently sways in the breeze, watch the birds that kind of flit around the porch, and the butterflies that might come up, neighbors walking by, that kind of thing. But sitting on the porch is just so relaxing, and I really enjoy it when the 2 of us are sitting there together. We're not doing anything special, sometimes just sitting there talking and just enjoying each other's company. And this reminds me of that. And then of course makeup. I've got some makeup here in the box, and this is my Bobbi Brown shimmer brick, and it's this particular thing here is eyeshadow, but I do the whole 9 yards: the foundation, the eyeshadow, the blush, lipstick, the whole everything. And so this one piece just represents all of that I do to take care of my skin and of my face. And I enjoy it. Now, I didn't wear makeup as much when I was younger as I do now, but now that I'm a little bit older, I realize I've got more imperfections in the skin, and there's things that I want to cover up, so I wear makeup for me. And then some days, if I'm feeling a little under the weather, or I just need a little pick-me-up, I make up my face, and it's helpful. And if nothing else, a little lipstick. A little lipstick goes a long way. And this color that I have on right now is the Jungle Queen by the Lipstick Queen, and I just love it. Now, the things that are left in the box are probably the most telling because they're at the bottom of the box. And I guess they're the first things that I put in. So when I started thinking about what are the things that minister to me or make me happy. Well, these were they. And one of them is this box of jewelry. It is a pair of earrings with a necklace, and I just wore these to a wedding the other day, and I bought these to wear with the dress that I wore to the wedding to my son and daughter's 40th birthday celebration. And that weekend my son proposed to his girlfriend, who is now his wife, and so I also wore this same collection with that same dress at their wedding. So this jewelry reminds me of that time. I had had my AFib event the month before their wedding, and I really didn't think I was going to live until the wedding. I really didn't. So I had talked to my sister-in-law and told her all the things that I wanted to make sure that happened just in case I wasn't here. And luckily enough, I was. God was good, and I am still here 5 years later after that very serious event. But this jewelry just reminds me of how blessed I am that I was able to come through that. And like I said, my condition is managed with medication. And then this box has a pearl necklace in it. And this is the necklace that Robin gave me as her mother-in-law now for my help with the wedding. So this is associated with their wedding as well. But and I wear it quite a bit. You'll probably see it in many videos. But it just reminds me of happy times. And I have some pearl earrings that I like to wear with that. They're just little tiny pearls. I had some bigger ones, but I lost one, so I'll have to replace those. But so that's the jewelry that I put in. And then the last item in the box is this, and it is my Pandora bracelet. And my husband got me this Pandora bracelet about 2 years ago. We got it started, and I just love the different little charms that I have on here. And each one of the charms represents something special. Either Christmas, the year he gave it to me, either our 45th wedding anniversary, or like Mother's Day, or Valentine's Day. But it's like he gives me a charm about once or twice a year now to add to it. So I've had it 2 years, and I've got 7 charms. Robin and Jason gave me a charm to add to it as well. So, but this one just again reminds me of the two of us and the things that we have to look forward to. So those are all the goodies that I had in my box. And you know, as I was looking at everything, it is a self-care box, but it's like it's almost a gratitude box because there's so many things in here that remind me of what I have to be grateful for. So I really want to thank Synolve at Synolve's Beautiful Gems for hosting this challenge. It was such a great idea to create a self-care box. And if you're not familiar with Synolve's channel, I'll link it below. You've got to go over and check her out. She's really doing some very interesting things over there. And much of it has to do with taking care of yourself and empowering yourself. So she's kind of done a 360 in some of the things that she was doing on her channel. And I'll also link the playlist below when it's available so that you can go in and check out the gratitude boxes. See, I was thinking gratitude because there's so many things in here that I'm grateful for. But I will link the playlist below so you can go in and see some of the self-care boxes that others have created. So now here's my question for you. Which part of this self-care box did you find most interesting? Tell me in the comment section below. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children. I've managed a home for more than 45 years, and I am a nurse by profession. So if you want to learn more about cooking and cleaning and laundry and home and health and beauty and gardening, subscribe. I'd love to have you as a member of the TNT community. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying goodbye. I'll see you for another day of Vlogust.